welcome back to Underground Nutrition After Hours. Today's podcast subjects are the Arnold Classic recap.
Which idiot are you voting for?
And Puff Daddy's pool parties.
I can lunge all over the place.
Yes.
I swear.
Welcome back to Underground Nutrition
Season 3.
Season 3, episode
37.
37 of Underground After Hours. I'm your host, John, and my assistant, my intern, Scott Lasher. That's my partner,
name.
Justin, and my intern, Scott.
Whole fucking government.
Holy shit.
That was good. You told him you wanted him to be. You told him he had to be a bigger part of the show.
He's taking the reins
He's
today.
fucking-
Today is my show.
It's John Ramsey's show.
What do you want to talk about? What are some of the topics?
I haven't participated in any of the research and development of the show
I have.
or the topics therein.
I have.
But I am going to participate the shit out of this conversation.
So you're going to be giving uninformed opinions
No,
about stuff
all
that
my
you don't
opinions.
care about.
No, all
gonna
my
be off
opinions are informed. But I'm overcompensating in this episode for my lack of participation in the last episode.
Seems like you got fucking. You got like. Shunned.
We did have a conversation.
I got
could-
yelled at.
Oh,
by
man.
after
You know
Scott
why?
no-showed me. I called him back to tell him how well his video went that he didn't show up for.
Right.
And then he told me how bad I am at podcasting.
Okay. So you're gonna bring heat today.
That's not. I just said you phoned the last one in. We had a special guest. I thought there was a lot of opportunity. I don't know if you were going through something personally, but I watched that episode and I thought
You're not the only one. I got it. I mean, maybe Jordan said the same thing, but maybe he was just
he was
sharing your opinion. I don't know.
regurgitating my talking
But I'm
points.
here. My apologies to Frank Pro. It was definitely not a lack of interest.
It was the Justin Scott show.
It was the Justin shot.
It is. It's not. I mean, this is the
That's
Scott
not
show.
true. It's the Scott show.
Listen, and I said it to Scott, but when we have 4 people set up, Scott is incapable of turning to the left. He's like Zoolander. So he's looking at you. I'm talking to the back of his head.
He always talks to me.
He does, right? Can you at least acknowledge
No, she always talks to me. And you know
So
what? You
I'm
know
all
what I
the
think
way-
it is? And I don't mean to cut you. I know what I think it is. I think it's because you and Scott talk a lot more during the week.
No, it's because he's righty. I turn to the right too. If you put me there, I would have the same problem.
He just wants to include me more.
But he has to be in the center.
Well,
classic
there's
narcissist,
one of me. Number one, there's 2 of you, so I figured I would go in the middle representing Underground. You know,
No,
Right.
we used to do the caddy corner where it was me and Justin
Close
and then
together.
you.
Yeah.
Like
well, look, we can boil this
We
down.
upgraded.
At the end of the day, this is actually your fault. It's because we had a setup at a table and it was working well, and
you're
you
like-
had some sort of aesthetic meltdown and wanted to be in a straight line. Like we're going to podcast in a straight line.
I think it
and
was
you-
the seats too.
it
John
was-
saw the
it
seats.
was the
and knew
seats.
that
I
he
get to
could,
put my feet
he could
up.
lean back,
Yeah.
and
So
take
we're
a
here to
nap.
accommodate you.
As we should be.
I'll make a bigger effort to turn my head to the left.
I don't even want you to.
Okay.
Just do whatever comes
Let's
natural.
get into our first topic.
Yeah, let's get into. I mean, this is right in your wheelhouse. We're going to be jumping right into the Arnold Classic,
Right.
Your favorite.
Oh man, I have so much to say about this weekend.
We
Yeah.
have to. I'm sure you do. We have to. We are. I mean, whether you like it or not, we're kind of pigeonholed into the
Fitness world.
fitness world. I mean, it's our day job, so we need to talk about it a little bit.
We do.
Can't have a huge event go by with
Not even touch on it.
so many big names.
Yeah. A lot of our friends went there.
Yeah, Frankie Pro was there.
I know, and a
Coaches of people.
couple of our members or people that come to our gym as day passes or punch cards actually went there. And
I
competed.
really wanted to go this year. I was if Frank was going to compete, I was supposed to go with him. I've never been to the Arnold.
Right.
Maybe we should do that next year.
I think it would be kind of cool. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I saw a picture of
He'll be
Sam
googling
Sulek
restaurants.
Yeah, I did too.
with Arnold.
Yeah. John likes Sam Sulek.
So I guess the big highlights was that Hadi Chopin
Yeah. Looked ridiculous.
took number 1. And I thought I saw a lot of the recap, and I mean, well deserved.
Sure.
Over with the number 2 spot was
I don't know. You don't look at me. Look
yes,
at you.
you do.
No, I don't.
Samson.
Samsonite.
That was way off.
The biggest difference was the core. He's a monster. He's a like 6 foot, 300-pound monster. Conditioning wasn't on. Blah blah blah.
Right.
I saw no controversy there. Although a lot of people were a little upset with Hottie's reaction to getting second place in the Olympia and storming off stage. And people were kind of saying people should have stormed off stage for his
sore loser.
Yeah, but
give it back.
You know,
people took the high road.
I don't give a shit.
Now, this isn't as prestigious as the Olympia.
It's not.
No,
but it's up there.
But it's a big one.
But I tell you what, I think more importantly than the winners was the announcement by Arnold that they're going to be raising next year's prize money for first place to $500,000 from I believe it was $300,000 or $400,000 this year. Each year they've been raising it, and $500,000 would make it, I believe, $100,000 more than the Mr. Olympia. Another thing they do is the Arnold was a free live stream, and you have to pay for the Olympia.
You do.
And I think Arnold Classic is making a play at compensating the athletes more, making a more incentive for really big names. Because a lot of times guys skip because the Olympia and the Arnold are so close together. I think sometimes it's tough for these guys to do those types of shows back to back like that. But I think the nature of the Arnold, I think they're making a play at becoming bigger than the Olympia, and at least financially makes more sense for some of these guys to maybe favor that show.
I think it's cool that they're giving the fans, the ones that actually like to watch it, the ability to watch it without having to pay anything.
Well, and also these guys, these bodybuilders notoriously, unless you're, the biggest names in the world and you have really good endorsements, you're not making a ton of money, and it's a brutal sport.
Yeah.
So to give these guys
so that's the prize pool for open.
Yeah.
And you had said, I think, didn't you say that the Chris Bumstead's was like prize pool was under 100,000.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah. Notoriously from open down, it's just like less and less
money
because people don't care as much. But I think that's starting to change now because I think like in any industry, you got like the parasites at the top who are really making money off of the athletes, and it's like a big corporate cash grab, and it's nice to see Arnold offering that type of money. I would imagine that would mean first place, all the prizes would be going up across the board. Although I don't actually know.
Arnold's for the people.
He is for the people. He goes up. His stock goes up and down. He says something's really
says
stupid.
some weird shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He says like some really like F your freedoms.
Yeah, he was
stuff.
He's
And then people
communist.
were like, "Yeah, he's Nazi."
Yeah.
His father was a Nazi.
His father was a Nazi.
Like
Legit.
actual.
Yeah.
So he's Austrian. I don't think he knows what's going on.
Somehow he was the mayor of California.
Some other
governor, right?
He was a mayor.
Mayor.
He was the governor. Yeah.
I just remember when he was the mayor in the news, that guy that was on death row that started the Crips. I guess he applied for
Tookie.
Yeah. He applied for what is that, clemency or a stay of execution in like the final hour.
Yeah.
And Schwarzenegger gave him the thumbs down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know too much. I actually, it's not true. I know a little bit about it, but good. Fuck him. Fuck him.
It's just something I remember.
Yeah. I'm pro death penalty. Kill them all.
Yeah.
That's an interesting show topic. We could do that one day.
And that's a about face from a younger me. A younger me saw a play off topic. I saw a play called The Exonerated by Richard Dreyfuss, and each 12-person, there's 12 stools on stage. Each actor represented a person who was put to death, who was found innocent after the fact, and every line that was spoken from each individual person was from their own words. So none of it was like written. There was no.
Yeah.
I saw this when I was probably in my early 20s, smoking a lot of pot, and I was like, "Oh, the death penalty is so bad." But the question that they posed was that, are you willing to kill how many? Are you willing to kill 100,000 guilty people for one innocent life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the question.
Right.
So that struck a chord with me when I was younger,
When you were high.
when I was on weed,
On the pot.
and now I'm like,
Now you're like, fuck them all.
that's a sad
I'm still
story.
against it. I'm still against
The
it.
death penalty,
Yeah.
You rather them suffer in jail?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
It's I hear it's an easier way to go out. You know,
I don't know about that, man.
No, I agree. It's brutal.
Wa-
Dude, it's
walking to your execution is a brutal thing. I mean,
you're not wrong, but like, would you rather die or go through 50 years in prison where
50 years in prison.
no
I've
way?
been to
Easy.
prison. It's fun.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
You eat soup with your friends and work out in the
It's
yard.
not all like that.
It's a lot like that. 90% of it sometimes is really bad and crazy.
Yeah.
But if somebody came to my cell, like, and you got like, they're like, you have 49 years left, you want me to shoot you in your head right now? I'd be like, I think I'm gonna. We never know what's gonna happen.
You adjust to your
Yeah.
condition.
Let's stick it out. You know,
Okay. All right. Ow.
that's me. That's you know.
I just think it's kind of brutal. I think it punishes the people that care about you.
well, I mean,
Well, this is.
I don't know. I mean, we could do a whole other episode.
Wait, we're talking
We
about the
could do
Arnold
like
Classic.
Yeah, how do
we're
we get
talking
to
about
the Arnold
Arnold,
Classic?
and now we're
we can get into
You asked me to participate. I'm participating.
That was good.
I'm saying for certain crimes, it should be automatic. I mean, it should be like firing squad. I don't like lethal injection.
Castration.
Castration, hanging. You
Yeah.
know.
Now this again, and we'll move on back to what we're talking about. But I had read, and I do not know if it's accurate, but one of the biggest like pushes for the death penalty I've read was that like the taxpayer money and like keeping somebody alive in jail.
They don't
And
give a fuck about our taxes, dude.
Yeah, but they're saying that.
But they
if
don't want to spend it on that.
They don't want to spend it on that. So, like, if they.
Who's they?
But I
they
read somewhere
offer
that
us
it
less
costs
taxes
more to
taken
keep
out.
them.
Yeah, it costs like a lot of money.
But I read somewhere that it costs more to kill them.
John Gotti said right before he was dying on his deathbed, he's like, I'm going to fight this out as long as I can because I know they're going to have to keep paying for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
damn,
bleed
bro.
them out a little
Yeah,
bit more.
you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't buy that whole money thing. I think it's a justice issue, and I think if your kid is murdered by some deranged lunatic and you're found guilty and you go through the a million appeals and you are guilty, admitted to your guilt, that justice is death.
If you've admitted to your guilt,
Also, a lot of these people have admitted to their guilt. You know, there's guys on death row who are sitting there saying like, "Yeah, I did it, but I was like on drugs," or "Yeah, I did it, or I was I found God."
Yeah, I'm a different person.
And,
now.
that's great and everything, but that doesn't get my
well,
loved
that's
one
what they
back.
said about that's what they said about the Tukey guy. He had like
Remorse.
called for he had like written, he won like some type of peace prize. I don't know if it was the Nobel Peace Prize, but it was something for like calling for gang truces.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk.
Writing children's books.
I'm not going to talk bad about high level gang members on a podcast. So I'm sure he was a great guy. And
Did you ever see the movie? Jamie Foxx played him. It was good.
What was it called? Yeah.
I want to say Redemption.
No, I don't know too much about the Crips. There wasn't a lot where I was.
Yeah.
What were you talking about? The Arnold Classic?
The
Let's
Arnold.
get back into it.
Sure.
So we're split on the death penalty.
I find gangs way more interesting than bodybuilding.
so
I'd
do
rather
I.
be a
I
gang
do.
member than a bodybuilder.
I am still vaguely interested in bodybuilding. I'll tell you a couple of things. I just in some of the recaps, some of the videos that I watched, just want to go through it real quick. Was the change that I saw in men's physique? These guys are huge, and I think I saw Doucette commenting on this. It's like I remember it's no longer like the Calvin Klein models.
It's like an ab show.
It's not that anymore. These guys are bodybuilders. Their quads are busting out of their board shorts, and I'm not really sure what the fuck the standard is there, but it doesn't seem like a huge difference between, say, classic
Yeah.
and men's physique now. Those guys are jacked bodybuilders.
Yeah, they're huge.
You know,
I'd love to look like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's,
I'd love to look like that.
That's what I mean. So I'm not. I don't know when that change was. And this year is the first year that I really noticed it because I mean I don't follow bodybuilding like I used to, but I don't know. Maybe they got. I don't know if they changed the rules, but it's not that surfer ab check anymore. It's like bodybuilders with shorts,
right?
So that was interesting. Thor Bjornsson deadlifting 1,000 pounds like it was 135 pounds was insane.
Looked like a noodle. Looked like he picked up a fucking pickup stick.
And I really like Thor. It's hard to watch his YouTube videos. I've tried.
Can't understand him.
I can understand him. He's a little dry, but he's a hell of an athlete. You know, he did the he's done strongman for years. He had a really bad pec tear.
I remember seeing video clips of that.
He's an okay boxer. I mean, the transition with that much muscle at that size to boxing, which is just a totally different thing. I mean, it looks like he was boxing underwater, but for a guy that size, and for training that way, it showed some real athleticism. And then to have that really bad pec tear and to come back the way he did and to deadlift 1,000. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it.
Did you see it?
It was
I did not see it.
He
insane,
picked it up
John.
like, I swear to
He
God.
picked it up like you would pick up 135.
You thought that he was getting ready for the lift. Arnold was like yelling, like, "You're gonna do this for me." You know?
Now, this is a stupid question, but this was in competition. This wasn't like some type of expo.
I don't know if that was Expo. Because he didn't win he wasn't the strongman winner. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I just think it was.
I can't answer that question, but no, I think that was Expo. Just like a guy's just
Look at this guy picking up 1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He did it overhand grip with straps, but on a regular bar.
It looked like a regular bar.
It was a
like a
rogue
regular,
bar. It
yeah.
wasn't like a. He had straps overhand, but that doesn't fucking matter. And conventional deadlift, and he picked it up like it was like a fucking warm up. It was wild.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Oh, what's another good highlight from it? What's
The bloody nose girl.
the bloody nose girl?
It was awesome.
Did you
I don't know
see
what.
that?
I don't
No.
know. There was a sick
Yes.
picture.
I'm lying to you. I saw pictures. I didn't see video.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched a video of it. It was kind of a whack video. But I don't know what the exact number that she picked up, but as she picks it up, she just starts profusely bleeding from her nose.
That's insane.
and then took like the sickest picture. Like,
Like This is a 600-pound deadlift.
Ah,
I don't know.
That's
I think it
insane.
was 600 pounds.
That means something happened in her brain.
That's pretty common. It's a lot of pressure.
I mean,
Eddie Hall used
hope
to.
she doesn't have some kind of aneurysm where, like, because if you do that, you're dead.
Yeah,
No,
that's.
I think it's a combination of smelling salts and then the amount of blood pressure change.
Yeah,
The amount, and you could just.
central nervous
It's not
system,
like
just something just pops. I don't. It was fucking wild, dude.
It's a sinus thing. I don't think it's not like her brain's leaking out.
I hope not.
I'm sure it's not good for you.
Right.
But,
It was cool to see though.
have you ever deadlifted 600 pounds?
no, I actually haven't.
What's your max?
My max,
The best deadlift you
my best deadlift ever was 425 conventional.
ever for a single?
Yes.
And what about you?
555.
Have you ever really pushed your deadlift?
No, that was the most I ever did, and it wasn't like I wasn't like stuck and having to like rock it up. It went up pretty good,
You feel like you had a little more in you?
probably.
I was with Alan, and there's
That
video.
fitness shop.
There's
I
video
remember seeing
footage
the,
of it
was-
somewhere.
It was looked painful.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, his looked painful.
There's video of it?
Yeah, I have
You
a
should
video
post
of it
that on
somewhere
You should post that on Paramount.
on the TikTok. No, it was in fitness shop, and it's as much as I enjoyed. In all honesty, jokes aside, it would probably hurt me to deadlift 135 right now, just because of how like,
Jacked up your back.
mangled my back is. But I thought about it the other day, like actually doing it. The best shape I ever was in, I was deadlifting and I was benching
Yeah,
regularly,
Yeah.
and I benched for the first time in probably 3 years last week. It felt great,
Like heavy
like
flat bench
with you,
To me?
with you at fitness shop.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
when we were deadlifting on back day, and we were
bench pressing
benching
on
on chest day, doing 5x5s.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever pull from the ground again.
Last time I saw you pull from the ground was you, me, and Matt.
I popped my back.
And you fucked yourself up bad.
Yeah, just like slip something, and I'm like, all right, just, come on. What am I doing?
Seriously.
There's no reason. There's no need for it
It
anymore.
was fun, though.
I hit the numbers I'm going to hit. And
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. I could deadlift more than that girl. So
Yeah, you can.
that's all that matters to
Yes,
me.
you can.
What else was good with the Arnold Classic? I saw a lot of the vendors. That stuff looks kind of fun. Everybody who's who is there. Was Luke there? Your boy Luke?
Yeah, Luke
was there.
Yep.
Luke was there with Brody.
They were there together.
Yeah.
They must have been.
They went
having a
to-
fucking
Went
blast.
to Miami.
They went to
Gym
Miami,
Shark.
flew home for a day, and then flew out to Ohio.
They're just living their best lives.
Yeah, they are.
What are we doing?
I don't know. We fucked up, man. We fucked up.
How did we mess this up so bad?
Why didn't we start younger?
We did. They just didn't have that job description. Wasn't a thing when we were coming up.
Yeah, they're killing it out there. Looking at having the time of their lives.
Yeah, good for them.
Sam Sulek out there taking pictures with Arnold. Who else did I see? Any other big influencers? Trying to think.
I think that was pretty much all the highlights. I don't know. I didn't follow it that much. I just watched a bunch of like recap videos. Women's bikini is like, that's another interesting like. And Greg Doucette was saying this. He's like, you could take last place, you can totally have inverted it, and nobody would have been surprised. Like if you didn't know
Right.
that who had won it last year, if you didn't know any names, like all those girls
Looked insane.
look so good,
Yeah.
and it's such a hard. Like you have to keep fat on your butt.
Yeah.
You have to you have to have a chest, so you have to have implants.
Mhm.
You have to be diced.
3%. Yeah, 3% body
You have to
fat.
diet like you're eating white fish and vegetables and doing an hour of cardio every single day.
Yeah, they're eating tilapia and greens. That's it. And
Yeah.
somehow they got to keep their tushy.
It's like you're at the women's bikini, the women's divisions. It's a bigger ask than the guys because like we were made for building muscle. And we can like wreck our hormones with male hormones. You know,
Yeah.
and
Our girl does that. She's literally.
we're supposed to be a little bit lower body fat percentage anyway,
Mhm.
and they're supposed to keep fat on their ass,
on their boobies.
on their boobs.
Yeah.
Keep everything that makes you that looks like that's hot on a girl, but also
Be
completely
chiseled.
dick
No
skin.
fat anywhere else.
Yeah, dick skin.
It's-
Good luck, girls.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know why these girls want to do this.
It's
I really
wild.
don't understand.
It's crazy.
Just wreck their hormones.
Yeah, because
Say goodbye to their period for a year.
it's another great point. Is he says like you could be a girl and get into bikini now, and you can win a local show natural. And he's like, you might even be able to get your pro card natural. But then when you get on the big stages and you're hitting sixth, and you're looking next to you, and the girl's got cap shoulders, she's a little drier, she's a little leaner. Then you're gonna start getting into the drugs, and that's when like
That's where all hell breaks loose.
breaks loose. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Poor
You gotta
girls.
kind of hand it to them.
Yeah.
They kind of get a little, it's like a little bit of like a
Reality check.
it's tough, man.
Yeah. Maybe
Tough.
stay.
But I'm not into it. I don't know anybody's names that much. Like I said, you can like rotate any of them out, and you wouldn't be surprised if they won or lost.
Yeah, you're saying if they told you the last place winner won,
was
you'd
was
be
the
like,
first. That was kind of. I don't know if it's that dramatic because I didn't.
probably is.
But it's. I mean, you take the top five for sure, and you tell me which one of them won, who looks, and they all look great.
Yeah.
For that particular class.
Well, bravo to everybody that won and had fun and got out there.
Oh, that's nice.
Congrats to everybody
Give
at
them
the
a little
Arnold.
round.
Participation award. Good job, guys. Welcome back to reality.
All right, now for the fun part of the show.
What do we got?
Your favorite. Justin has been talking about this all week.
That's not true, but sure.
You've been really into it.
Sean Diddy Combs,
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy, who goes by P Diddy now, I believe. He's been in the news lately.
What'd he do? Did he make a great rap song?
He has not. I don't know. John, when was the last time he made a good rap song? Because I don't even know.
I think you could probably count on one hand the amount of good rap songs he has that are his songs.
That are his, yeah. So he's been in the news for the wrong reasons because he's had a lot of charges, I guess, allegations put his way. And,
There's still allegations, right? There's
correct.
no charges.
No, he said
it's a lawsuit.
lawsuits. Yeah, he said
Mega.
He settled out of court, I believe, last year with his ex-girlfriend
Trafficking
Cassie.
one.
I don't think this wasn't a trafficking one. Cassie was. I don't know what those allegations were, but it was settled out of court because she probably got a lump sum of money, whatever. But I think it was last week there was some new allegations and a lawsuit brought upon him from one of his record producers that has him all types of crazy shit, bro.
Like what?
So much so they bring in Rico involved because there's drugs involved. There is sex trafficking involved
Of underage
girls and boys. There's allegations of him, kind of grooming this guy who was his producer to be this. I guess he was trying to solicit or elicit sex little underage boys and girls to come back to Diddy's Never Neverland. And all this shit. And there's like this 30-page lawsuit that has all types of names.
And this is all falls on the shoulders of Bad Boy Records.
Correct. All on Diddy.
And a lot of the some of the most egregious stuff is the fact that he is having homosexual relationships with like big names.
Big names. There's big names in this. Cuba Gooding Jr. is involved. The fucking Usher's involved.
Now, hold on real quick. Do you
Go
think
ahead.
that this is pouring out because of, you think like Cat Williams opened the Watergates on this?
So that all came on. Like Cat Williams
floodgates, I'm
definitely. Yeah. Cat Williams definitely mentioned Diddy a couple times in his interview with Shannon Sharp. But
Which people wrote off as lunacy.
yes.
I don't know, but it seems like over the past couple of years, a lot of people have just been throwing this out here.
Yeah, 50 has thrown total shade at saying
like you stay away from his parties.
Yeah, correct. Don't go in a room alone with Puffy. Basically, that's what they're saying.
That's crazy. Can you imagine another man saying that about you?
Yeah, and like for a while now, there's interviews fucking years ago, John, of like Exhibit remember what was that show that Exhibit did?
Pimp My Ride?
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. Like he was talking crazy shade about Diddy. Like, listen, he's suspect.
Yeah.
Like stay away. But this dude that has this lawsuit now, it's kind of like these are all allegations, so you don't know if it's true or not. All right. This guy brought up these allegations, sure. But he's kind of got he doesn't have the best look on him right now because a couple months prior to this, maybe a couple months back, he started up a GoFundMe page because he wasn't getting paid from Puffy for producing his last album. I don't know what it was because I don't even know. So Puffy's lawyers are just saying it's a money grab. He's suing him for $30 million. But in this, all these allegations, this guy's talking about shit that he did, that Puffy made him do, that could come up later on if there's criminal charges, like eliciting young boys and girls, underage girls and boys to come back to this wherever it was, covering up a shooting. There was a shooting outside of Bad Boy Records in L.A.
where I think Puffy shot somebody.
They're saying that Puffy and his son shot somebody in the bathroom, and then they dragged him outside, and it made it look like it was a drive-by. And this guy's saying, like, no, that's not what happened. Puffy shot him. I still have fucking DNA on my clothes. I could show you. He's got video of Cuba Gooding Jr.
So this guy's implicating himself.
Yes, so that's why it's just like, oh, maybe it could be true. Why would this guy do this?
And they're saying that the house itself where he was throwing these parties, everything was videotaped.
Yes,
and that the idea is that it was like a honeypot where guys like Diddy and like whoever these group of people were having big names there, and then various acts of degeneracy,
right,
that can ruin your career.
And then they'll have, and this is like a long-standing,
long time,
like a CIA going back to like I think Meyer Lansky was one of the first people to do this kind
That's
of
a
stuff.
long time ago.
Like J. Edgar Hoover with the cross-dressing. There's a guy on Twitter who like outlines the American sex honeypot scandal like phenomenon starting all the way back where like J. Edgar Hoover was like a known homosexual and cross-dresser, and like there was like apparently video of him, and that's how some of these criminals were able to
get off with it. Yeah,
and then going all the way up to Jeffrey Epstein, where the Epstein Island served a number of purposes. Number one, a place for degeneracy and to do whatever you wanted, but also to get people with a lot of money there doing fucked up
Heinous
things.
acts. Yeah,
And then using that as
power.
Blackmail.
Blackmail, yeah. basically.
So that's a lot of fun,
Dude,
There's a lot of stuff going on.
So
there.
this goes all the way back to the Clyde Davis. Yeah, Clyde Davis, the dude. I think he owned a huge record company, and
Interscope, is he?
I don't know. That's not Interscope. That's Jimmy Iovine. I don't know which one he owned, but he had Andre Harrell have another one. He gave Andre Harrell a bunch of money to open up Uptown Records. Andre Harrell brings in Puffy as a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, as like a kid,
basically
like a nobody.
Nobody brings him in, makes him quit college. He was going to Howard University, makes him quit college, gives him the VP job at 20 years old. And now they're thinking like Clyde Davis was one of the first big name moguls like that to come out as homosexual.
Yeah. With definitely some degenerate
right
qualities.
So the way that they're saying it's like all these conspiracy things are coming out now saying that Clyde Davis did crazy shit to Andre Harrell, who then did crazy shit to Puffy, and then Puffy then did crazy shit when he opened up Bad Boy Records. Brought Usher in as like an 11-year-old kid.
But he wasn't.
Go ahead.
I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But Usher wasn't Bad Boy. He was so deaf, wasn't he?
No, but this was before. This was before Usher was even big.
Okay.
Usher's parents wanted him to get, a taste of what Hollywood could be because they were like they knew that he was going to be big time. So they sent him out to Puffy's Neverland Ranch or whatever the fuck it's called, and he stayed there for a year. Usher is on video saying this, saying like, "Oh, I went there for a year and I saw some crazy shit that a 12-year-old shouldn't see." And then they go,
but he never specifies.
Right. And then they were like, "Oh, would you let your kid go to Usher, you're now a father. Would you let your kid go there?" He was like, "Absolutely not." Like adamant, like no way. And then Usher then founded Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber got taken in by Puffy. There's old school videos of Puffy bringing around Justin Bieber, gave him a Lamborghini, and now look at how fucked up Bieber is.
There's also some sketchy video with a Bieber in a club. She's doing some I don't know exactly what's happening.
So this guy's like the fucking Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. And there's so much shit coming up now that 50's talking about it. It's nuts.
Have they said it as Biggie's name came up?
So in the thing that I watched today, Biggie was the one that he did not fuck with. Like it wasn't anything like that. He was trying to,
get money.
Yeah, like he knew Biggie was going to be huge, so he wasn't taking advantage of him like that.
Because that's the story, that Biggie's the one that made him who he is.
Of course. Yeah.
So
Craig Mack was the first.
Perhaps that's not accurate.
Right. So yeah, he's it seems with these allegations, it seems like he is a bad individual.
Bad boy.
Didn't Mace like last year say some crazy shit on stage?
I don't know if he said it on stage, but I know Mace.
Well, he vanished.
Well, Mace vanished, yeah, but he's making a comeback now. He's on this podcast.
Another comeback.
He's on his podcast with Cameron every week.
That shit was just.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the one where they're talking about the lyrics?
No,
Didn't you see that where they were like,
oh yeah,
they
were
like some suspect lyrics?
Cam said something like,
Mace
"What do you mean by
them
that?"
back to Cameron, and he's crying.
Yeah, because it's just talking about like
shooting in a guy's mouth,
male penis,
like that.
Yeah, talking about
and he's like,
male
"Where did
genitalia."
you come?
Why are you saying
He can't
that?
even read the lyric.
Yeah. So
on the same note, did you guys happen to see the AI generated what black rappers would look like if they were white? It's some of the greatest AI I've ever seen in my life.
I did not see that.
Have you seen it?
No.
Why
wouldn't you send that to me?
It's amazing. You have to look it up. It's on Twitter.
Okay.
And it looks real. Like and it's funny because each and every one of them, when you see them, like AI did a really good job. Like it looks like white dudes, but you can still, it's like
you could tell.
Like
you can see the features,
and each and every one of them, you're like, I know a white guy that looks like that. You know what I mean? Like that's like it's not outside of the realm.
Yeah.
Like Busta Rhymes as a white guy is one of the funniest things you'll ever see.
I gotta look that up.
Snoop Dogg and then at the very end they have Post Malone as a black guy. And he looks. It's like
I feel like Snoop Dogg would look like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
It's so funny. It's the funniest thing.
So bring Meek Mill into the whole thing.
He's just getting his.
So there's
Cheeks
videos.
clapped.
There's videos of Meek Mill at one of Puffy's parties, these notorious parties that Puff has, and he's in the pool, and he's calling Puff like he's calling Diddy like he's calling him daddy. Garden State Bully Dave sent me the video. Crying. Of course he did. He's all over this shit. So there's been, allegations that, at these parties that go down that
What's the saying? Ain't no party like a.
I don't know, like a West Coast party.
I thought it was ain't no party like a P Diddy party.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it sure sounds like it.
Probably
Isn't that
P Diddy probably said that, but I
Not
don't
a
know if
party
that's a
that I
thing.
want to be involved in.
Yeah.
But they're given the allegations that came out in this lawsuit now is that Puffy gives like date rape jugs to like
Grown ass men.
grown ass men, and they wake
Gangsters.
up and they wake up in the bed and Puffy's like,
Apparently
hey,
not gangsters.
Well, I don't
Because
know.
if you're a gangster and you just got date raped
Yeah.
by anybody, I feel like you're coming back with that thing.
Yeah, you're gonna
That thing with the ratchet. It's a tool.
I mean, I don't know. I would assume that's what real gangsters.
it comes
do.
back to like this Hollywood, like what we've talked about in the past. Like Hollywood is just like a fucking
Degenerate.
cesspool
Yeah.
of just terrible, terrible human beings that like Illuminati fucking, meetings, and this is what you got to sell your soul, and this is if you want to make it, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to believe it, but like where there's smoke, there's fire, man.
I wonder
Like,
if there's any real explanation for it.
I
Did
don't
you ever?
know, man.
Do you remember that first Cat Williams special? And it just reminded me when you were saying it before, when he was talking about like Whitney Houston smoking crack, and he's like, "Don't 100 people say the same shit about you and it not be true."
Not be true, right? It's just true. I mean, like if there's so many allegations, man, where's the lie? Tell me, like, am I just an idiot for believing it?
Explain it to me.
Yeah, like,
Explain
make
it to
it
me.
make sense.
How it's
then.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah,
One of the things I heard was that it wasn't so much like a grooming thing. The one of the working theories was that Puffy showed signs to these guys who you're talking about who are on the record labels as being somebody who was already degenerate, was like maybe bisexual and had no proclivities about shooting somebody or doing whatever it takes to make his money,
right.
and have and like do whatever he wanted, and they just capitalized on that, and he went. That's how he got the record label deal, and that's because he was willing to do
Whatever it took.
whatever it took.
Yeah, because he didn't have no. It wasn't his money that he put up for Bad Boy. Because he got fired from Uptown, and then like a week later, Clyde Davis gave him a shitload of money to start Bad Boy. Like who does that when you got fired from this other label that's under you? Like Clyde Davis is the one that's under him that got fired, and then gives him money to start his own.
Yeah.
Like it's just so weird.
Now, has anybody made any type of dotted line connections to like this degeneracy and like Biggie's murder?
So there's some allegations coming out that like
And
Diddy
that perhaps
actually
this wasn't an
had
actual.
like for some reason I didn't get this far, but like there was crazy shit coming out that Diddy was actually someone behind the Biggie murder. I don't know why he would do that though.
People
'cause
have been
that
saying that.
Yeah.
Eminem's been saying that forever,
yeah, like I don't know, man.
making jokes about it in his songs.
It's
Yeah.
just all fucked
You know,
up.
so I've never. I remember. I remember the first when I was younger, like back with MTV, and when Puff Daddy and Mace had that song. I don't know what it was.
Can't nobody hold me down.
I don't know. Whatever their first hit was, I remember what they were. They were wearing like colorful clothes, and they were outside. It made me want to jump off a high building. I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of their songs. I've never really heard any. I know the names.
Right.
I know the faces.
Sure.
I don't know any of the music at all whatsoever.
Well,
In fact, what I was going to do for this episode, one of the things I was going to do was I was going to
should have wore your bright red jacket.
listen to Vultures. I've never listened to a rap album.
It's not bad.
I've never heard a whole rap album in my life.
That's crazy. You didn't.
I mean, Eminem was like that Limp
When
Bizkit,
you were in high school.
Right.
Limp Bizkit, but I never I mean, yeah, I heard some of the songs.
You
but
weren't even into it for a little while just because it was popular.
Eminem was like, I thought Eminem was all like okay. Like I didn't hate Eminem, but I didn't never like listen to like an album or anything like that. I liked a little bit of Busta Rhymes.
You weren't. Oh, I know you like that. You
Yeah.
like that. Turn It Up, the
Yeah.
Night Rider
The
song.
Night Rider
Yeah.
song, yeah. I thought that
You
was
put
pretty
that
cool.
on in the
Scott
car.
gets a
and
little
Scott-
headbot.
you
Gets a
know,
little
he
headbot.
won't- if that's on, Scott won't get in the car and shut your radio off. He'll kind of like sit there. He'll pop us in. He'll pull the vape out.
I'll do the one or two lines that I know.
All right,
None
good.
of- Let's keep that to yourself. What about you? Didn't I see? I find it mind blowing.
DMX and Marilyn Manson had a song together, and I loved Manson, so
Yeah.
I thought that was okay.
Did you like Limp Bizkit when they came out?
I liked
early?
I liked Limp Bizkit's first album. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
but I was not. I listened to really. I always favored weirder music.
You never listened to Beastie Boys.
I hate the Beastie
blows
Boys.
my
The
mind.
sounds of their voices, like a Jewish bagel store clerk yelling at me that it's my turn to order. I can't take the Brooklyn. I can't take it. It's not
Yeah.
my thing.
I wasn't a
it's-
fan. I respect them, but I wasn't a fan. I
It's
never
like,
listened
It's like
to
if
them.
Seinfeld was rap.
Yeah.
That's the Beastie Boys. I
Yeah.
can't hate it. I hate it so
So you're-
much.
So you were going to do some research and listen to some rap albums or
I was
listen to
going to listen to
Vultures?
Vultures because I like Kanye West. I mean,
Well, then don't listen to Vultures. Listen to his first couple albums.
well, I'm kind of curious with the new
before he lost his mind.
because he's such an interesting guy. Like he's wearing like a like this obscure black metal band T-shirt, which is wild to me that he would even know who they are. He's just a weird guy, and I like his clothes, and I like his. He's interesting to me, but I've never gotten into the music at all. Like I don't know Kanye West's music. I don't know the songs. I don't know if you guys play it in your gym.
Yeah. Like I said to you before, there's the most popular Meek Mill song. If I put it on right now, you'd be like, I've heard this song twice a week in Paramount.
Yeah, and I don't like any of it. So I would have to like. I'm kind of curious to hear like a whole album. Like, I know I hate the stuff that you guys play, and I hate it a lot.
Well, we hate most of it too.
Yeah, well,
The newer stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I was gonna give Vultures a chance just to see because I never really gave it a shot. There's a weird rapper named Necro and Atmosphere
I know who they are.
that I liked. That was like,
Coca Nostra.
yeah, I don't know that. I remember like this was like an old mixtape. My friend had it, and I like that stuff. That one's I like the drugs or something.
I love drugs.
I love drugs. That was
Yeah, Necro was. It was that whole La Coca Nostra. It was Necro. Who was it? The guy Danny Boy, I think, from House of Pain.
Oh,
There was
yeah?
a couple guys, but Necro is kind of like I put Necro in the same category as I would put Insane Clown Posse.
really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know anything about him.
Well,
I
he just raps about like really graphic, gory stuff.
yeah, and that was years ago. There was another guy named Dialect who I saw open for a band that I liked that I thought was okay. But I
But these
never.
people, the other not Necro, but the Dialect, Atmosphere, these are talented rappers. Like
Yeah.
they're, I wouldn't call Necro a talented rapper, but I mean it was. I would say that was if I had to guess that would be the genre that you would lean to was that like horrorcore rap, which
I mean, it just seems like they put a little more into the instruments and like the programming or whatever.
And
Like,
it's not about-
it's weird.
it's not about the same, selling drugs and
Shooting people.
shooting people.
Oh, and there's a weird band out of North called Horror. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of them. I don't know their music.
They're
though.
weird. They're
Well, you
fucking-
like,
what about,
you
like-
E-Town and he raps?
I hate.
He hates
E-Town.
E-Town.
Oh, do you?
I don't like.
I
that.
thought you liked E-Town.
Nah,
I thought you went to a bunch of their shows.
I've seen them twice.
Yeah.
That's
I
it,
like
just
them.
twice. I think both times I was with you.
Yeah, I've seen E-Town at least twice.
Well, we stayed for the whole.
I don't hate E-Town. I would never put it on in my car on purpose.
Right.
I don't like the New York hardcore scene. To me, is I like it's Madball and all that. Like I liked it. And like if people listen to it, it's cool. I listen to it in the gym, but it was never my.
It's not
never
your
my
thing.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
I liked E-Town.
we were going off on a music tangent.
No, it's fine.
It's
but
okay.
it just shows that like fucking music industry, even like the hip hop culture music industry, is all tied into like this Hollywood fucking craziness.
Yeah, and that's why that's the pop culture in general. I think is just it's corrupted. It's like a giant cancer
Puppet show.
It's a
cancerous puppet show.
And it's all astroturfed, and it's set up by people who it's everything that's popular, everything that's viral, is being seen not organically because millions of
shoving
people
it down
like
our
it.
face.
It started with like the Beatles things and the way the record companies figured out that this is like we can make billions of dollars if we prop the right people up and they'll dance for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it's become. Everything you see and wear and read and hear is,
especially now on social media, it's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah,
it's right in front of your face,
and it's by design.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it all sick.
I think it's cool that people are starting to like expose it, though.
Yeah,
like.
But what's going to ever get done?
But it doesn't
Nothing's
matter.
going to change.
It's
no,
like,
you're
remember
right.
I asked you the question when, like, you said a couple weeks ago we were talking about the Epstein list on Twitter, and you said you wake up every morning and check it. And said to you, I said, what's the name that's going to change things for you?
Nothing. You're absolutely right.
You know,
like, it doesn't matter
what's
if
the
it's
name
Joe
that's gonna
Biden
make you feel
or
any
it's
different?
fucking John Smith.
Yeah,
like they're all the same, and nothing's going to change, which is sad, which is very sad, but. It's scary that nobody gives a shit, you know?
I saw a really, really good podcast with Lex Friedman, who is a dope. He's just an absolute dope. I think he's AstroTurf. I don't even know how this guy has a show, honestly. I don't think he's a particularly good interviewer, but he had Tucker Carlson on. They sat down for 3 hours. I really like long form podcasting. I think it's like the Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you get to touch on a lot, dude, and it just goes.
And
it flows.
And it allows people to really
open up.
Yeah, without
you get to know people.
Right. And he sat down with Tucker Carlson post the Putin Russia thing.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
I know you did.
I thought it was I was laughing from beginning to end. I don't know if you guys if you saw it.
I watched clips. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched clips.
Putin gave like a 30-minute history lesson.
Yeah.
And it was the most autistic.
In the beginning, he's like, I'm just going to stop you for 60 seconds.
And
then he went on for an hour.
The memes of it were like starting with the Big Bang.
Yeah.
It was, I thought it was, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good interview for what it's worth. A lot gets lost in translation, I'm sure.
So how was his interview with Lex?
But it was 3. But one of the things that Tucker said, I don't know why people hate him so much because I think he's really brilliant and actually a good, fundamentally a good person.
Because he was on Fox News and everybody hates.
But he started at CNN. But regardless, he said the 3 main metrics for whether or not your nation is healthy would be are people having children? Are those children better off? Happy and more better off than the previous generation, and sobriety. Like, are people able to get through their days without drinking and drugging themselves to death?
Right.
And by those all the 3 metrics, it's like
we're failing.
We're not doing great. We're not doing very well. I really suggest listening to that if you can. It took me like a couple days because it was so long, but they touched on a lot of interesting things, and a lot of people say that Tucker's like CIA. Even Putin brought it up that CIA affiliated. His father was in the CIA. He tried to be in the CIA. They denied him apparently for failing. He failed for like coke.
Did he?
Yeah, drug use was why they didn't take him.
He's in recovery.
He's fed.
Yeah, he stopped drinking. He's a Zinhead. He's
The
just
Theo
like me.
Vaughn with Tucker Carlson when they're talking about doing coke.
Yeah.
And it was some of the funniest.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
awesome.
just, yeah, it was really funny. I know somebody, not well, but somebody that either worked closely with Tucker or for him in Washington, and they said he's nothing like you would assume he would be.
Right.
He's just a regular guy that doesn't talk about the shit that he talks about on TV ever.
Yeah.
know?
He likes to fish. He hates politics.
Yeah.
He loves his family. He doesn't watch his own interviews. He
Yeah.
doesn't seem to care. I think he's genuinely interested in ideas. And one of the things that he said that really struck with me, and I think it sort of would define any rational person, is like when it came to like Israel and Palestine or Ukraine and Russia, the overarching question is like, are the people in power making decisions to push us closer to conflict, which could potentially lead to a nuclear war, which would kill my children? And if you are, then I hate you.
Right.
And that's, I don't know why everybody doesn't have this
That same opinion.
same opinion.
Yeah.
You know, are you pushing us further to a potential nuclear
war.
exchange?
Yeah.
That will kill my children.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, then I hate you, and you shouldn't have a shred of power. Now, I think that's it was worth watching just to hear that perspective. I think.
Yeah.
I still love Tucker.
How do we get from Puffy to Tucker?
I don't
all
know,
the
'cause
same,
You know
bro.
why?
It's
Because they're
all the
all
same.
fucking related,
It's
dude.
all connected.
It's all the
connected.
same.
And if this podcast
It's
pops
good versus evil.
off, this podcast pops off, maybe we'll be in Hollywood.
It's-
too.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna
I ain't
end up
going
at
to no
one
puppy
of-
party.
Yeah, we're gonna end up at one of Puffy's parties.
I ain't going in the pool with Puffy. All right. Fuck that.
You can see how easy it would be to get sucked in.
Oh, I mean, listen, they're throwing millions and millions
You
of
think if
dollars.
somebody comes with a $500 million check to John, he's not getting in the pool? He's not holding the camcorder.
Honestly, I think all three of us are getting in the
He
pool.
said
John's
even
like this with the camcorder.
again, it's not even. And I keep bringing it back to that because I think it's the funniest comedy special ever. But that first Cat Williams one, that is 10, 15 years old. He's talking about, you go to parties in Hollywood and he's just like walking around, like walking down the hallway, and he like looks in a room and double takes and he's like, "Is that two dudes kissing?" Yeah. It's just, I just feel like people you look back at the jokes and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
like got it.
that's why they try
That's
to
what they're
censor.
talking
That's why they
about.
try to censor comedy so
Yeah.
hard. It's because like underneath comedy is just like any other artistic expression. It's underneath it. It's like
There's some truth to it.
Poor Shane Gillis and his Saturday
SNL
Night
flop.
Live.
yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I
He
can't.
handled it well and actually made it even funnier for me.
Can you think of a time when Saturday Night Live wasn't cringe in the last 20 years?
I mean, this past weekend
I think
one was
Saturday Night
awful.
Live is cringe by definition.
Yeah.
It has been. I mean,
It's not supposed to.
even when it was funny, like when Chris
Farley
Farley
and Adam Sandler.
yeah, even when they had an all-star lineup, like it was 50-50 on the sketches.
Yeah.
It's like it's tough to do.
but the
type
ones
of
that were
comedy.
funny.
Yeah, I don't.
They definitely have like a lot of those classic ones. They're fucking funny. But like you said, it's hit or miss. If there's fucking 10 sketches in an SNL one, you're laughing at 5 of them.
Ask yourself a serious question. Back then, it's like if you're Bill Murray or you're an up and coming stand up comic and you have the ability to get on, that's your platform to make your millions, to get into movies. Now you can skip that. Look at Shane. Like Shane got fired from SNL and
Got more
ostensibly
Before he even filmed.
it probably made him more famous to do his own thing.
Sure did.
Like why would you even?
Yeah.
It's like not going to college and just getting drafted directly into
the NFL. Yeah.
Well, there was a time that I feel like there was a time that Saturday Night Live was the birthplace for some of the greatest comedians
Actors.
that we've seen in our lifetime, and it's almost like now is like it's the graveyard or it's the
that's where
leftovers.
they're stopping there.
because they're not good enough to
Or
stand on their
they'll
own.
never. Yes, exactly. Now it's like you're the leftovers. You're
Yeah.
the B squad.
Because of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if something is genuinely funny, we're gonna see it because people are gonna share it, and you don't have to be a writer on SNL.
What happened to Matt Rife? I haven't heard his name in months.
He got canceled.
has sucked. He sucked. He was he sucked. AstroTurfed. Never that funny.
He got
Comedy
canceled.
that's geared towards women is not funny.
Yeah, he
It's
was
never funny.
His
Sucks.
shtick got old quick.
I watched that whole special and I barely
I
giggled.
didn't chuckle. I didn't even chuckle.
It was so bad.
It was not good.
Not funny at all.
It was not
He
good.
sucks.
The girl from Euphoria hosted this past one.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
the main
cute.
character? Is that the main character?
No, that's the blonde
I
one.
never
that's
saw you
really,
but I know Sydney Sweeney.
really.
She's Twitter's darling right now.
Yeah,
She's the right wing's darling.
yeah.
Yeah, big
And
fan.
it was awful. It was not even fun.
When are we getting the next season of Euphoria?
I never watched it. I never will.
I just want to know what happens with
that Scott
Ashtray.
hates.
It's the Puff Daddy.
grooming.
It's Puff Daddy story in HBO form.
Yeah, in high school.
It's getting kids to think that shit is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be
I
anything.
couldn't take my eyes off it though. I'm
not into. I can't do it. Because I know that I'll probably like it. I get it. Because I like HBO. HBO has good shit.
It's done well, a lot of it.
By the way, while we're on the subject,
Oh, here we go. I know where you're going.
what? Guess.
HBO show?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come on. The one that just finished. The third season or fourth season.
True Detective.
Yeah.
What a fucking abomination. Car fire.
Just,
Did you see it?
No.
You,
I didn't watch it.
You
'cause
gotta
told me not
watch
to.
it. You gotta watch
You
it.
told me
should
not
watch
to.
it. You
No.
should watch it just so you can hate.
I didn't watch the third season. What was the third season?
Third season was with that the African American guy. Forget
What's
his
his
name.
That was in the movie.
He's good.
He was in that Netflix
He was
movie,
in the
right?
Netflix movie. That one was good.
With Julia
that one was
Roberts?
good. It was way better than the second season.
Yeah.
That one was
with
awful.
Julia-
Oh, was it?
with Julia-
Yes.
What's his name? God damn it.
I can't think
He's
of
a
his
good
name.
actor.
Yeah, he is a good actor.
I don't know if I
The
watched the third
second
one.
season was
With what's
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it was awful.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I liked
thought
it.
Well, awful's a stretch. I'm sorry. It was just a letdown because the first season was probably one of the best seasons of television ever made.
It's just such a
Yeah.
slow burn. It's like so.
Top 3.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
the underlying message in that is exactly what we're talking about, like good versus evil, degeneracy.
Yep.
Angels versus demons.
Angels versus demons.
Did you see them try to slam the time as a flat circle into the? I
Yeah,
wanted to.
dude.
I wanted to rip the TV off
You
the
got
wall.
you got to watch it. It's all women.
It's all indigenous women that are all lesbians,
Yeah.
and they're all heroes.
And
Every
they're all
guy
heroes.
is a
Is a
bumbling,
bad,
either bad guy,
autistic-
simp, or bad guy.
Yeah, cuck. It's
fucking
it's
worst.
so bad, but like you watch it because it's kind of a cool story, but then you're just like, look at what they're shoving down your
Because
face.
Jodie Foster is a great actress.
I love Jodie Foster.
And she's in this one.
She's the main character.
She's the main character.
With some other weird
Her
lesbian lady.
the one guy who was in like Deadwood, he's been in a million things. He's a great actor.
Yep.
They had some really good talent. They fucking hired this MMA woman with piercings in her cheeks and had the emotional
I know who you're talking about.
spectrum of a Rottweiler.
Yeah,
Oh, I love Rottweilers.
Yeah, but I mean, they have two. They have hanging out and they have angry. You
Yeah.
know? And that was pretty much. It was so fucking bad, dude.
yeah. You gotta
And-
watch it.
And
You gotta watch it.
the writer, the
original writer.
was losing his mind.
He went nuts.
He went nuts on Instagram, just like
Like, look what they done to my show. It was bad.
Why isn't he writing it anymore?
I think he got fired
I think he
or
got
what?
fired after the first season.
No,
Or
I think
it was. I think in the third
the
season.
third. I think all three were his, if I remember correctly.
What was it? Vince Vaughn and Vincent D'Onofrio? Was he in the second one, or no? Am I making that up?
I don't remember.
No, it's what's his name from Blade.
Not Wesley Snipes.
Not Wesley Snipes. He was in
No, I don't remember
Dwarf? Stephen
his name.
Dwarf?
Yes, Stephen Dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
I just
So.
watched a movie with Stephen Dwarf, The Iceman. He had a
Yeah,
cameo
you were
in The
telling me
Iceman.
about that.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah.
So, you want to do anything? You want to touch on anything else?
I mean, I know
What
you
are you
got
voting for?
depends on who's running.
Who's
Do
gonna?
we even know who's right? It's like
We don't know.
Yes, it's Joe Biden, and
Is it though?
Yeah. The time has passed for them to do anything about it.
Bill Maher was saying he walks like he's got a diaper on.
Because he does.
And it's Donald Trump.
Well,
We don't
unless
know.
something happens.
Yeah.
But
unless
what's
he-
going to happen? Why
They're
is it
gonna-
taking so long?
I don't really know.
Did it take this long to lock you up?
I think they're trying to do it in the style of Russia, but just an American way. Like we're gonna throw a bunch of we're not gonna poison them.
Yeah.
We're not gonna kill them in the jail cell. We're gonna try to kill him slowly in the media, and then
I feel like he's gonna die.
I don't feel like he's not gonna make it either for some crazy reason.
I feel like he's gonna die.
Like
they're gonna take him out.
mysterious
Yeah.
stroke
Yeah.
or something, right?
I don't know.
They're not
man.
gonna. I don't see them letting it happen. I do not see a world where our government allows that to happen, right and left, because they are the idea that we live in a democracy a representative democracy is hilarious
Yeah,
to me. But
they're gonna appoint whoever they. I just don't think it's gonna be him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they have
right now.
they have no choice, right? If he is the
And they always have a choice. They could do whatever they want. I mean,
yeah,
they killed JFK.
Listen, I think did Nikki Haley finally?
Did she win something?
No, I think she finally.
Did she drop out?
She won a county, her own, where she
She
lives.
lost her own state.
Yeah, but she won her own county.
Oh, good job.
and
Is
she's
she-
like, I'm going to stick around for.
yeah,
I don't know.
She's holding on for dear life.
but she's a Democrat running on a
No.
Republican ticket,
Well,
right?
yeah, essentially,
basically.
but they all are.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know what's going to happen.
it's gonna be fun to watch.
In reality, if the way things are going, the way on paper, it's going to be Trump versus Biden, and it's just buckle up, guys.
in Vegas right
COVID's
now,
coming back.
in Vegas, it looks like Trump is the favorite to win right now.
And it's just I don't know. Can you see a world where that happens?
No.
Well, listen, if it does happen, if for nothing else, like you know, like or hate the guy, if he does win, it would restore my faith in humanity a bit because he is clearly the people's choice, and he always has been. He is the people's will. Like him or not, you can't deny it. It's on paper.
Well, according to voting numbers, Joe
Yeah.
Biden was the most voted for person in
The history of voting.
of voting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to make for some interesting times.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
I'm all
'Cause
here.
I
I'm
love
here
to
for it.
laugh, dude. That's my favorite. That's what gets me through. You know, spending $500 at ShopRite, I can bear with it as long as I can laugh.
Yeah.
You know. And I have a
Well, I'm
feeling-
not going to bed on election night because that's usually what changes things.
That's where
Yeah, we went to
I'm gonna
sleep last
stay up.
time, and it looked like he was
I'm
the
gonna
clear
take a
cut
bunch
winner.
of
And I woke up, and it was like, no, sorry.
I'm going to take a bunch of Shadow Black, Hollow Labs plug,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to tie
Pull an
I'm gonna
all-nighter?
tape my eyelids open like it's Clockwork Orange.
And you can
And I'm
watch
not
in real
taking it-
time.
Just
that-
it's like on daylight savings where it just goes from 1 o'clock and then it's back to 1 o'clock again at
Yeah.
1:59.
Well, it's going to be fun. There's a lot of fun, interesting topics that they're going to have to battle it out, especially on the topic of immigration, unfettered immigration, which is
That's huge right now.
real big in the news.
Real big. Yeah, there's some crazy shit going on. Even I saw Joe Biden was like, he actually reached out and was like, listen, let the Republicans and Donald Trump, let's all come together so we can get this turned around.
The immigration crisis.
Correct. Because it's wild right now.
It's almost as if there's just nothing they could do to stop it.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if you saw in the news, John, this guy came over illegally in El Paso, I believe it was, in 2022, and he just brutally murdered some poor nurse student in the University of Georgia, I think it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Georgia, he made his way up to Georgia.
Yeah, I guess so, somehow.
I mean, you hear about that stuff happening in like Southern California.
right, no,
Texas.
he made his way to the East Coast and killed this poor,
They
22-year-old.
travel remarkably easily.
yeah, I don't know how, but
I have a hard time getting around sometimes.
John, not John anymore with his new car.
Mm.
But anyway, killed this lady, this girl,
Girl.
22-year-old girl, and you barely even have you even heard about it?
I did just because of the right leaning social media accounts that I may stumble
Follow.
upon from time to time.
The algorithm.
But the algorithm, yeah, it's. But yeah, I mean, clearly, obviously, it doesn't
Doesn't get the traction that others.
get the traction. It's not.
It doesn't infuriate people at a fundamental level for some reason.
Right.
You know?
Because they say, why are you gonna use one bad apple as the
Martyr,
correct
the scapegoat.
scapegoat of the entire immigration
So this,
process?
yeah. But
Why don't they do that for the bad cops then? Why do they use one bad apple?
well, one serves a different purpose, and it's hard for me to really wrap my head around anybody who would not want secure borders. It just seems like it's like one of the fundamental things a nation needs. But what do I know? I'm just a guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the election cycle. I feel like the left is going to do a lot of cleaning up in these final months and really try to make some moves to make it seem as though
They care.
They care about some, like, maybe the price of living and, you know, illegals coming over. People coming over illegally and like being let go after getting caught and then brutally murdering 22-year-old nursing students. I feel like they're going to have to do something on that, you know?
Right.
Not if nobody knows about it, they won't.
Yeah, if they don't, you know, if the news, if the state media doesn't tell us what's going on,
How do we even know?
we'll have to go on X where
We get everything.
we get everything, and who knows what the fuck is true there.
Yeah.
I don't even care. AI. I was like, look at
funny.
this cute cat. It's AI. It's an artificial intelligence.
Oh man.
Which, by the way, I'm using for my business like crazy.
Noticed.
I don't, it's there.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm for it.
Yeah, you used my AI
I use
artwork that you didn't
Jesus.
credit me for.
yeah.
Jeez, really, John?
No credit.
No
even,
credit.
Even Luke Ellsman was in the comments like, wow, that's really cool. Who did that? I said, if we only knew.
No, I don't think that's what happened.
That wasn't.
I think
no.
you commented and said, asked,
Mm-hmm.
and stirred up the
Stirred up the
conversation. You stirred the conversation.
I was curious.
You initiated the conversation.
Right. Because you had a really great Valentine's Day post and your logo was beautifully done.
It was beautifully done.
But you would have had to pay $50 to $100 for a professional to make that.
If there's one word I could think to describe you, Scott, it's definitely professional.
Oh, well, let's wrap this up. I just want to say I'm going to announce it now. We got we have their spring apparel line is going to be coming out by the end of March, beginning of April.
Sweet.
I'm calling it Schizophrenic Spring. That's the working.
PC?
Well, no,
Okay.
but that's the working title. I'm calling it Schizophrenia because it's going to be a bunch of different, very unique pieces. I think it's going to be hit or miss.
I'm sure it'll be a hit.
Alan's excited to see what hits and what misses.
I liked Alan's
New apparel drop.
shirt.
Remember life, remember death.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
He did good.
Yeah. I like the. I mean, I know that maybe I'm biased, but I like the Hollow Labs existing in the jiu-jitsu space. I think it's cool.
I think that's his niche.
Yeah, well, that's where he spends his time. I mean,
I think that he should really heavily exploit that.
if you took Shadow or Shadow Black and tried to do jiu-jitsu, you'd throw up all over yourself. I would anyway.
Really.
But
Well, that's where EAAX comes.
yeah, I
into
mean,
play.
it's good. That great for
Balance it
recovery,
out.
stuff like that. But I think his reels are well done. It's cool. I
He's
mean,
doing it.
Yeah, he's
a specimen. Just watching him do anything is mesmerizing in the most heterosexual way possible. He's just a mesmerizing human being.
It's like it reminds me of like Joe Rogan when you're watching him and he put together a good interview and you're like, wow, this ape is like, he's got some thoughts. You know, he's doing pretty good. That's every time Alan puts something together that's good. I'm like, look at this ape doing stuff.
Your manager from Garwood came into Paramount today
Yeah,
to work out, check the gym out.
Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great, nice guy.
good kid.
First words out of his mouth, Alan sent me. I said, "Let's
That doesn't mean anything.
start over."
You have to pay for
fill,
the
Start
fill-
over.
fill this waiver out and let me get that credit card.
Yeah.
Dog.
You know, not the it's your first time here, not the opening line. But we got things.
You guys got any announcements coming up? Anything fun?
Friday.
We're doing our yearly International Women's Day. We invite the
What day is that?
March 8th.
Friday,
It's this
March
Friday.
8th.
Oh, I gotta do something too. Huh?
We invite the ladies to come out and train for free.
Wow.
We offer discounted memberships to everybody, men and women.
Yep.
And we're beefing it up a little bit this year. I think we got some tables.
What would you do if somebody came in and identified as a woman?
Somebody
actually commented on
you know
that.
what? I'm going to take this.
Yeah, take
Go
the
ahead.
field.
Somebody-
I'm just curious. 2024 might happen.
Here, all right.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give a not serious answer, and then I'm going to close it with my serious answer. My not serious answer is that obviously every year we get the comments in the Instagram like, oh, what if I identify as a woman that day?
Yeah.
And like this year somebody did it, and I wanted to comment and be like 2016 called, and they want like their witty, tone deaf joke back.
But you don't comment though.
But I didn't.
No, he
but
liked
it's
it.
just, in all honesty,
Hit it with a heart.
no, I didn't. I didn't. Everybody else got hearts.
I'm
It's
just kidding.
if that's where your joking level is at right now, that there's nothing I can do to save you.
Get better.
And the same thing, if you come in and that's
If that's what you say, you know what?
enjoy
the
the
gym, dude. You got bigger problems.
Enjoy the gym. I'm the least of your problems.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes in and they say, I identify as a woman, and
We're gonna handle it on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
okay,
I'm gonna leave it at that before you
Finish your
is there going to be
before
like a passing
before
grade?
you open a floodgate of
What?
people. come.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
No, I mean, no. We're not going to go there.
We're not
gonna-
doing it.
No, we're not going to go there. It's going to be a fun day. Ladies come out and train for free.
You guys can answer. I'll answer the question.
Sure. How would you
What's
answer
your
the
question? What if you're working? What if I have to go?
I do this with people with we have a police discount in my store,
Yeah.
and I don't ask for a badge. So if you identify as a police officer, I'm not going to ask for a badge.
Neither do we.
You know what I mean? So if you tell me, hey, I'm a police officer, and you want that 15% that badly, if you come into my store,
if you're lying, if you're participating in stolen valor
then
for a 15% discount,
then
on a
you're
tub
gonna
of
burn in
protein,
hell.
You got bigger problems.
you're going to burn in
Yeah,
hell.
you're a piece
for
of shit.
that. So if you come into if I'm offering a discount for the ladies, and you come into my store and you look me in my eyes and you say, I identify as a woman,
Say, sure, you
I'm
got
going
it.
to say you got that.
Oh.
Who am I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the
It's
best
going
way
to
to
be a fun
handle
day.
it as a
Yeah.
business.
No, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's going to be a good day. We're going to have my personal training client's going to have a table there. She's going to be selling treats that are very healthy, that very not
Healthy.
not healthy.
It's the reason why I can't diet. Can you please tell her to stop?
Well, she dropped off a tub of
she dropped
samples
off a-
today that are gone.
Yeah, and those are healthy.
They were?
They were.
I've gone to
Oh,
your
because I
gym.
climbed inside that tub.
I've gotten in my car,
They're healthier.
drove to your gym,
Uh huh.
30 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to train.
Uh huh.
I get there and there's a big box of treats
Yeah.
behind the desk, and I start talking to John.
Yep.
I eat 700 or 800 calories of some sort of chocolate delight,
Right.
On the light side.
and I fucking leave.
Yep. Thanks, Teddy.
So can you tell her to stop?
But you worked your soul out.
Yeah,
I think that's
you
got
talked-
a
you saw your
good
friends.
soul workout.
You
I
talked-
think
like
that's
therapy.
that's what's important.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna have. It's gonna be fun. Come out and check us out.
All right, so I think that's a great podcast, guys.
This was a good one.
That's really sticking with the schizophrenic theme. We're all over the place.
We sure were.
I love it though.
Mid combos going. I
Any
think going-
opportunity to get Scott to engage in conversation about the hip hop industry.
I'm for
That's
it.
a
I'm
win.
here. I'm going to listen to Vultures, and I'm going to get back to you guys with my honest assessment.
Carnival.
No. Listen, I want his most recent.
Carnival is the song on that album.
Oh.
Bananas.
Is that the one? Give me the line from that. Can you tell it to me?
Can you rap it to him?
I don't. It's but it's a
No, you know what it is. I've heard it. Come on, tell it to me.
no, I know what you're thinking. It's the other song.
That's not from Carnival.
There's a song on there that has a Jay and Silent Bob sound clip.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that's the song that you're thinking of.
What is the line?
I forget the movie, but he says something about beautiful big titty women just don't fall out of the sky. And that's just like that's the hook. It just loops.
That's
not
not
it?
it. It's the up and down thing, like a carnival.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. What's the line?
I'm not going to do that.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Come on, tell it to me.
I ain't saying
You're
it.
not saying it?
No.
Jesus
no,
Christ!
no.
I would say it if I knew what it was.
I'm trying to think. If you give me a second, in my head, I'll come up with it.
Give him a beat.
I don't know the beat.
Give him a beat.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not a rapper.
Something
so
about like
Diddy.
head game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Something like a carnival, bouncing up and down like a carnival or something. I don't know the second part.
All right, let's end it. That's it.
We're gonna end it. We're gonna
Scott
end it
got
on the
what he
head
wanted.
game.
Scott got what he wanted. I'm bright red.